Hello students of grade 5. Today we are going to learn the lesson 9, that is germs and diseases. So in this we are going to learn what microbes are, useful and harmful microbes, how germs spread, prevention of communicable diseases, congenital diseases and allergies. So these are the things which we are going to learn in this lesson. So here there is one activity, let us do it. So Priya falls ill very often. Which of the following habits should she adopt to prevent diseases? Tick in the box given below. So here are the few options given to you. So which of that she has to adopt and which of them which she shouldn't do, we have to tick below. So whatever she has to adopt only we have to give a tick. So the first one is wash hands before every meal. So she has to do this. So it's a right. The second one is take bath every day. Yes, she has to. The third one is eat food from roadside vendors. No, this is wrong practice. The next one is wear clean clothes. This is the right practice. Play in mud and dirt. So this is the wrong practice. So let us start with the lesson. Microbes. There are a variety of living things around us. So there are a variety of living things around us. So some of them are extremely tiny. In fact, they are so tiny, they are so small that they can only be seen under a microscope. Therefore, these tiny living things are called microbes. So what are microbes? They are very tiny things which can only be seen through under a microscope. What is the microscope? This is a microscope. So this is used to study the microbes. So what are microbes? They are very tiny creatures, so which can be seen under the microscope. So this microscope is used to study these microbes. There are 5 main groups of microbes. These are bacteria, viruses, protozoa, algae and fungi. So there are how many types? There are five main groups of microbes. So they are bacteria, viruses, protozoa, algae and fungi. And so some microbes are useful while others are harmful to us. So as soon as we think about the germs or microorganisms, we usually think they are harmful to us, but they are not. Not all the microorganisms or all the microbes are not harmful. Some of them are useful, whereas some of them are harmful. So let us look into the useful ones first. So before we start with the useful microbes, I would like to show you the pictures of the microbes. Those are protozoa. You can see how the protozoas are. They are green in color. Yeah, so these are protozoas. These are fungi. This is bacteria. As you can see, this is bacteria. These are the viruses. And these are the algae. So let us move on to the lesson. So these are the 5 main groups of the microbes. So first let us learn about the useful microbes. So some microbes are useful to us in the following ways. So let us see how they are useful to us. So the first one is fixing nitrogen. Some bacteria changes nitrogen gas from the atmosphere into the form that they can be used by the plants. So what is happening here is some of the bacteria, what they do, so as I told you, these are the bacteria. So you have seen the green color ones, these are the same. So what does these bacteria do? They change the nitrogen gas from the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, whatever the nitrogen gas will be there, it will change it into a form that can be used by these plants. So these atmospheric nitrogen are changed by these bacteria to be useful for the plants. So these bacteria are called nitrogen fixing bacteria. So what these bacteria are doing, they are fixing this nitrogen from the atmosphere. So they are called as nitrogen fixing bacteria. They are present in the soil and in the roots of plants such as peanut and soya beans. So where are these present? Where are these nitrogen fixing bacteria are present? So they are present in the soil, as you can see here in this image. Yeah. So as you can see, these bacteria, they are present in the roots of the plants. So what are so let us look into the example, that is the soya and the peanut. So the next one is making medicines and vaccines. So let us see how these microbes are useful in making the medicines and vaccines. So antibiotics are medicines that destroy disease causing microbes. So the harmful bacteria or the harmful microbes are killed, are destroyed by the antibiotics, which are medicines. These are the antibiotics are medicines which are help in destroying the diseases causing microbes. So bacteria and fungi are used to make antibiotics. So what are the microbes, which are the microbes which are used to make antibiotics? They are bacteria and fungi. These are used to make the antibiotics. So penicillin, one of the first antibiotic, was developed from the fungus. So penicillin was the first antibiotic which was developed from the fungus. As I have earlier told you that bacteria and fungi are these two which are used to make antibiotics. So penicillin was first made from the fungus. So microbes are also used to making vaccines. So now we understood that microbes are used to make vaccines. So vaccines protect us from many diseases. As we know that taking vaccines will protect us from many kinds of diseases which causes harm to our body. So these vaccines and antibiotics are made from the fungus and the fungi and the bacteria. So the next topic is digestion. So as we all know, all plants' food contain fibers. So human beings cannot digest fiber directly. So what happens here is the fiber is the food, plant food, they contain fiber in abundant. So what happens, the human being, they cannot digest the fiber directly. So what happens here, let us see. So microbes present in the digestive system of human beings and herbivorous plants, herbivores helps them to digest fiber. So what is happening here? There are microbes present in the digestive system of human beings. So we human beings, we have these good or helpful, useful microbes present in our digestive tract or digestive system of the human beings. And herbivores, you know what are herbivores, isn't it? So herbivores, what they do, they help them to digest fibers. They also protect the intestines from disease causing microbes. So what they are doing is they are also protecting our intestines from diseases causing microbes, as they are useful microbes which are present in a digestive tract. If at all any harmful microbes enters a digestive tract, then what happens here is these microbes, they will fight with these harmful microbes. They also help in the production of certain vitamins. So what is this useful microbes doing in our digestive tract? They are also helping in the production of the certain vitamins. They are fighting with the harmful microbes which enter our digestive tract, and they also help in the digestion of the fibers which cannot be digested easily or directly by the human beings. So let us look into the next topic, that is baking. Yeast is a fungus that is used in making bread. When mixed with the flour, yeast helps the bread to rise and make it up soft and fluffy. So what is happening here? This is a yeast granules. It will be brown in color, as you can see here. So it is a fungus. It is nothing but a fungus. But this is harmful or useful? It is useful, not harmful one. So that is why, because it is useful. How it is useful? Like whenever we see bread, how they prepare. The bakers, what they do is they use this yeast, and this yeast they will put it in the flour and they will mix it too, so that the bread may rise and make it soft and fluffy. Because of this yeast only, these yeast granules are helping the bread to rise and to make it soft and fluffy. So this is one of the kind where the microbes are used. So the other one is the making curd and cheese. So let us see how this is helpful in the preparation of curd and cheese. A type of bacteria called lactobacillus changes milk to curd. So here there is a type of bacteria called lactobacillus. So this lactobacillus, what it does, it changes the milk to the curd. As we see our mothers doing it, they will first use the milk and a little bit of curd. So this reaction takes place and the bacteria is formed over there. That bacteria name is lactobacillus. So this lactobacillus is the one who is changing the milk to the curd. And even the cheese is made from the milk by lactobacillus and other similar bacteria. So whatever similar bacteria, as you can see these are the bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria. These are getting reacted with the milk and it is forming the curd and even the cheese. So these were the few of the useful microbes, how they are useful. As we have seen, it is useful in fixing nitrogen and making medicines and vaccines, and in digestion and in baking and in making curd and cheese. Let us look into the next topic. So the useful bacteria, they are also used in decomposition. Let us see how. So some microbes, they feed on the dead plants and animals to form compost. These are called decomposers. So what is happening here? Some of the microbes, they get feed on dead plants and animals. What they do after getting feed, they will form a compost. So these are called as decomposers. So when this compost is mixed with the soil becomes rich in nutrients. So what we do when this compost is mixed with the soil, what is happening? That soil will become rich in nutrients and it is very good for the plant. So let us look into the next topic, that is the harmful microbes. So microbes that cause diseases are called germs. So as we all know, what are germs? The germs are nothing but the microbes that can cause the diseases. So the ones which cause the diseases are called germs. So germs are present everywhere around us, on desks, on notebooks, fruits, vegetables, door handles, in air, in water, and so on. So everywhere these germs are present. Now germs enter our body through our eyes. So how they enter? Let us see. Into our body. So they enter to our eyes, nose, mouth and wounds. Wherever the cuts, wounds are nothing but the cuts and all openings in our body. Wherever we get hurt, those are the wounds. So through them also they enter. They spread diseases from one person to another in various ways. Such diseases are called communicable diseases. So the diseases which are spread from person to person in various ways, such diseases are called communicable diseases. So right now you can relate to one of the diseases, that is the COVID-19. Now let us see how these germs are spreading. So how does these germs spread? So germs spread diseases primarily through air, water, food or direct contact. So these are the sources through which the germs are getting spread. So they are air, water, food or direct contact. So through contamination, food and water. Eating contaminated food or drinking polluted water can lead to several diseases. So if you eat contaminated food or if you drink the polluted water, this will lead to the several diseases. So germs grow on stale food. So whenever this food is not in a good condition, if you eat them, what happens? You will fall sick. Why? Because the germs will grow on such food. So there are flies, cockroaches and rats carry germs from dirt, garbage and sewer and infect our food and water. So usually where do we find these flies, cockroaches, rats and etc. These kind of flies and cockroaches and these rats, we usually find them in the dirty places, in the dirt, in the garbages or sewer or any other infected places. So what they do, they will be carrying all the kind of germs on their legs or feet or on, and what they do, they carry from one place to another, and if at all they come in contact with the food or water, then that particular food or that particular water will get infected and if we use that, we fall sick because we come into contact with these germs which are harmful. So infected food and water cause diseases such as cholera, dysentery and typhoid. So these are the diseases which are caused if you eat the infected food or drink the infected water. So germs present in infected food and water cause a condition called diarrhea. So what happens, germs which are present in infected food and water, usually and people fall sick, that condition is called as diarrhea. What happens here, a person suffering from diarrhea, what happens to him is he will frequently pass watery stool. That is, watery stools are nothing but the loose motions. So if at all, as we know, we tell that a person is suffering from the food poisoning. That is nothing but, how do we say, if the person is vomiting or he is having the loose motions or watery stool, at that moment we will tell that person is having the he has undertaken his he has gone through a food poisoning, and that condition is known as diarrhea. So it is important to have a good standard of sanitization to prevent the spread of these communicable diseases. So it is very important that we have to maintain the sanitation to prevent the spread of these communicable diseases. As you know how we are protecting ourselves from this situation of COVID-19, how we are protecting ourselves, we are sanitizing, we are not coming in direct contact with anybody, and we are trying to be in a good surrounding and environment, and not allowing anyone to come closer to us, and not coming in contact with anyone, because as this also is a communicable disease, it is a harmful microbe. So as you can see how the germs are spreading through water. These are the contaminated water. As you can see here, this is the contaminated water, because you can see your garbage, everything thrown in it, and the water is not even the pure one. So the people are picking up all the garbage from here because it is a contaminated water. And the food, as this is the contaminated food, as you can see, there are so many flies coming over here. So if you come in contact, if you shoo away these flies and if you try to eat them, then for sure you're going to fall sick, as because these flies have brought so many germs, so many harmful microbes along with them, and they have dropped them in this food. If you eat this, then you're for sure we are going to fall sick. So let us see more of these diseases. How do they spread? So through the air. As we know, most of these communicable diseases spread through air. So germs that cause diseases such as common cold, viral infections, and tuberculosis spread through air. So what happens here? The germs, they usually spread through common common cold or viral infections and tuberculosis, that is TB. They are usually spread through air. So they are released into the air when a sick person sneezes or coughs. So whenever the person who is having this common cold or viral infection or tuberculosis, if that person sneezes or he cough or sneeze, then what happens, that microorganisms, they will fly in the air, and with that they will be spreading everywhere, and the person nearby will get affected and infected by that, and then what happens, they infect a healthy person. So the sick person will infect the healthy person. So you have to what you have to do, the correct way of sneezing is, you have to cover your mouth and nose with a handkerchief while you're coughing or sneezing, so that you may not spread it to a healthy person. So through contact with a sick person also is one of the cause. So disease such as chickenpox, measles, and ringworms spread by touching a sick person or by using their belongings such as handkerchiefs or towels. So what happens here? So diseases such as chickenpox and measles and even the ringworms, what happens if you come in contact, if you touch that sick person who is suffering from these three diseases, if you touch that person, what happens usually, or if you use the towels or handkerchiefs, for sure you are going to get affected by that disease. So you should be away from that person who is having chickenpox, measles, or ringworms, so as it is a communicable disease. So let us look into the next topic, that is the through insect bite. So diseases such as malaria and dengue are spread by blood sucking mosquitoes. So what happens here is, malaria and dengue, as we know, it is spread by a mosquito. When it will be sucking the blood, through it only it will be spreading the diseases such as malaria and dengue. So what happens here is, when a female Anopheles mosquito bites a person infected with malaria germs, it sucks the germs. So now, for example, if a person is already suffering from malaria, and the insect and that mosquito, that is female Anopheles mosquito, if it will bite that infected affected person, what will happen is that person will have the germs. So it will suck along with the blood, it will also suck the germs. So what happens next is, when this mosquito bites a healthy person, the germs are passed on to the healthy person. So what happens now, from the germs are taken from the sick person, and that same mosquito will go and bite a healthy person. So what happens, they will leave that germs which they carried from that malaria affected person, and it will put it on to the healthy person. They'll bite and pass it on to the healthy person. So thus what happens, it causes malaria to that healthy person, and dengue is spread by the Aedes mosquito in the same way. So the dengue and malaria both are spread in the same way.